Because I don't have any notes on the exhibit, Jerry. I swear. No, I don't care that we're speeding. I don't care that we're speeding. I'll start when I want, but it is not my job to get the notes about the exhibit. You should have had someone else do it. I know the exhibit is gone now. That's why you should have had someone else do it, because it's not my job. Hey there kids, it's me, Safari Sam, and today we are looking at Antarctic dinosaurs. Dinosaurs that lived in Antarctica, back when it wasn't as cold. So here you can see a lot of the cool stuff from the expedition that found all these cool dinosaurs in Antarctica. You can see many ace things all around, I guess. Here are some actual specimens and whatnot from the expedition. Or maybe that's not what this is. It doesn't matter. Congratulations. It doesn't matter. But here we actually have some articles of clothing and gear that they would have used. There's a recreation of the fucking... Oh, God damn it. Who did this? Camera work. It's terrible. But yeah, these are fossils. As you can see, these are actually fossils of amphibians. Interestingly enough, from very early on the timeline of life in Antarctica. You can see kind of what the globe looked like then, and that's a fucking arch that you walk through. What do you want from me? I'm a zoologist. I'm not a frickin' paleontologist. Here's more fossils. You like fossils? You fucking... People go nuts for that shit. The fossil videos do the best, so, here we are. But yeah, this is one of the trees, or a recreation of one of the trees that would have been found in Antarctica, and here's a recreation of one of the amphibians that would have lived there. Look at that big old boy. Look at that big old weird snoot. He's a little fucking guy. Look at those tiny legs. Like, he had to be spending a lot of time in the water, because those little legs ain't getting him nowhere. But you see he's got kind of the flattish tail, which helped him swim around, and then crawl up on land, which would eventually lead to the creation of taxes and racism. So, go fuck yourself, amphibian. You 100% ruined this planet by crawling out of the goddamn water, you fuck. So, here is this big kind of... It's hard to describe. This shows you how to get the fossils out of the rock. It's kind of an interactive thing. God, I really wish we could have got a permit for me to go in and just show you all this myself, but you can see you've got these false bones, and it shows you how to get them out of the rock, how to use sound waves to discover them, and etc., and how they excavated them without destroying them. And hopefully we'll be able to show you videos in the future of us actually doing those things, but we have another video planned that's going to simulate them and show you in that regard, right? But these are some of the tools they would use to get the fossils out. Here's some tools they use to study fossils. We actually tried to get a microscope recently, but they were ungodly expensive. So that's that. But here's a cool fossil. And this is probably what you're all here for. The Cryolophosaurus. Yeah, cryo, of course meaning cold. And loaf, which would be that thing on top of its head there. Kind of its crest. And then saurus, the terrible lizard, yeah. This is a big boy, Ancestor of birds. Kind of the apex predator when dinosaurs roamed Antarctica. Really cool guy, Here's some little teeths. Got little teeths from him. Everybody likes fossil teeths. But yeah, the Cryolophosaurus was definitely the most interesting part. And in all honesty, it's downhill from here. Here's a skeleton of the Cryolophosaurus. So that was kind of a reconstruction of what they thought it might look like on the outside. This is what it would look like on the inside. It's boyish little bones. He's got these big old fingies and hella long toesies, ribs, fucking tail. I don't need to tell you what these parts are, right? And then here we have a conglomeration of bones all cemented together. Very cool. just looking at these bones, it's always fascinating. And these are the real fossils. And it's always fascinating because you're never going to see one of these alive. DNA, disappears after about 10,000 years, and these are millions of years old. There's no DNA in here. Jurassic Park was a goddamn lie. But it'll always capture the imagination, because imagining is all you can ever do with dinosaurs, But at least we still have some today in the form of birds, which we'll talk about later. Right now we need to actually talk about these sauropods. So there were sauropods this time as well, but they were kind of small sauropods in this area. When you think of sauropods, you think of like the biggest effing dinosaurs that ever lived. But that's not really what these guys were. Like, they were big, of course, and here's some bones from them. But it wasn't like Patagotitan, Titanosaurus, or even Argentinosaurus. See, here's some juveniles, and they're just little guys. They're just tiny little guys. Once again, yeah, they got big, but for sauropods, these are tiny little fuckers. He's looking at me like my ex-wife used to. That was not kosher. I didn't like that. But this one's fine. Avoiding eye contact, as all should when it comes to me. There are many restraining orders out on me for a reason. But then here's one of the skeletons. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's a happy little fella, don't you think? And you'll notice their front legs are very different from other sauropods. They can kind of come up and they can raise up on them. Oh, I guess I'm out of fucking time, because now we're at the Tylosaurus, which is a type of Mosasaurus, which isn't a dinosaur, but a marine reptile that actually is very closely related to snakes. Yeah, and they were popularized by the Jurassic World films and other media. Now, mosasaurs themselves were actually incredibly common at the end of the Cretaceous. They were in every sea on the planet, which is why we have so many of their teeth and stuff nowadays. The bones aren't as common, but the teeth are incredibly common, especially juvenile teeth, since they probably fell out much like a shark's, or like a lot of juveniles whose teeth fell out, including us humans. Oh, fuck. And speaking of, evolution and shit, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is a penguin, an emperor penguin. Yeah, and the thing about penguins is, they actually are dinosaurs. All living birds are part of the same clade as dinosaurs. Because, turns out, when the meteor hit, it didn't kill all the dinosaurs, small avian ones were left. And then here we have an ice core from Antarctica that shows how old the ice is. Here's kind of a map of Antarctica. Very cool interactive feature here. And then we of course have more fossils and whatnot. God, fossils are cool, aren't they? Little plants. I don't know what these are. No one made notes for me. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Look at that. That's cool as hell. Ugh. Got all kinds of cool ice and permafrost and stuff. And then that's it for Antarctic Dinosaurs. It was a very fun travelling exhibit. If it ever comes to your city, to your local natural history museum, definitely check it out. It has a little film that accompanies it. It's like if someone wanted to make Walking with Dinosaurs, but only 25 minutes long, and it just wasn't long enough, honestly. But that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And definitely check us out on Patreon, because if you do, then it'll give me more funds to go out on the town with, film some stuff, There's a lot of places we can go to get a lot of great footage, and I'd really love to do that to make better and better episodes for you guys. And hopefully maybe we can afford someone that'll take some goddamn notes for me. That's it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Honestly, Jerry, birds got it pretty great. I mean, those motherfuckers look back on their genetic line and their ancestors are dinosaurs. All my ancestors were friggin' bank robbers and tax collectors, the two worst things that you could be in the Old West. Well, I mean, there were a few worse things, but they were those two. They were those two.